In 2023, the state of Kentucky was hit by a blue tornado from Paducah. Our guest here today, he was part of that funnel cloud. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
I'm Caleb Mays.
And, of course, you're the 2023 144-pound Kentucky State Wrestling Champion. Also a part of that 2023 Paducah Tilghman State Championship team, the first team state championship in wrestling for Paducah Tilghman. And, man, Paducah Tilghman 22 with you had Malachi, Eli Payton, and Uriah Versey. They just come out, just out of nowhere. And then 23, you guys come in and just, cleaned house. 4 state champions, team state champion. Like, whoa, where did all these guys come from? So let's start at the beginning, man. How did you get into wrestling, man?
Pretty much wrestling is mainly a family sport, or a sport that my family does. And my brother did it, my sister did it, and I was the only odd one out. So I just went ahead and joined.
Yeah, that may be somebody commenting on the video right there, that alert to just come through. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but was your 23 season the only season you had in Kentucky? Does that sound right?
Yes, sir. I wrestled in Illinois for 3 years, and I transferred to Kentucky for my senior year.
That's right, man. Had to transfer to Kentucky, get some real competition, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know the answer to this question. You might be able to help me out. But is Illinois, do they class their state tournament, or they have like a divisions, or how's it go?
So we have 1A, 2A, and 3A. 3A is big school, 1A is little. And where I came from, Anna Jonesboro, they were 1A.
Okay. No, that's cool, man. I'm glad you was able to shed some light on that. Kentucky's one of the very few states, and I think it's the best way, is there's no classes, no divisions, no split, team, trophy, and individual. If you win it, you're the best. There's never that conversation, yeah, this person was good, but they wrestled, 2A, or this person was good, but they couldn't have beat the guy in, whatever. But we don't have that. If you win it, you're the best. That's it. No other way to say it. Like the old school UFC, like before, back when the Gracies and all that was going crazy, there was no debate. If you beat them, you won. That's all you can say about that. So let's talk about Paducah Tilghman's state championship history real quick. As of this filming, this is January 28, 2025. I'm sure there'll be more added to this list, but as it stands now, Paducah Tilghman has 8 state wrestling champions. 2022, 138 pounds, Eli Payton. And we'll talk about where he's wrestling at here just in a second. 2022, 150 pounds, Malachi Ryder. 2022, Uriah Versey, 215 pounds. Same thing with Uriah. We'll talk about where he's at just in a minute. 2023, Jaden Frazier, 138. Listen here, Buster. I've got your number. I've messaged you. You better get up with me. Caleb, you're going to have to make that happen, man.
I'll get in contact for you.
I was going to say, you in 23 at 144. Malachi Ryder again at 150. Uriah in 2023 at 190. And then most recently, 2024, Jack James at 215. Now, Eli and Uriah, you see them pretty regular, don't you?
Yes, sir. They actually wrestle with me here at University of the Cumberlands.
I was going to say 3 Paducah Tilghman Blue Tornadoes are wrestling for Coach Ruff at the University of the Cumberlands. And that's a great program. There's a lot of Kentucky wrestlers on there. On that team, Thomas Ketchen Carter's on that team. He's a state champion from Kentucky. He's on the channel. A couple other people. I think Dylan Preston is still enrolled there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Dylan, him and his dad, I've become friends with them from doing this series. Malachi Ryder is at Adams State in Colorado. Jack James is committed to play quarterback for the University of Troy. So, man, just an awesome athletic lineage there from the wrestling side of the house. Also, like I said, 2023 team state champion. So let's talk though about that senior year. You're in the wrestling room there, and you look around, and you're like, there's Jack James, there's Malachi, there's Uriah, there's me, Jaden, a couple of these people. Do you look around and say, we have a unbelievable team this year? Is that how it went, or when did it sink into you guys that you're like, wow, we can win a team state championship this year. We can do something special.
I mean, ever since I first got there, I started practicing and I started getting in the room with the guys more. And I was like, I had a new mindset going into the year because I fell short in Illinois the previous year, and I wanted to win it. I knew I wanted to win it. Whenever I went in there, I started working. I put in extra work. I started doing more practices, some before school, some after, working extra with the coaches. And whenever I was in there, I realized that I wasn't the only guy doing that. There was others. It was Jaden Frazier, there's Malachi, Uriah, all of them were just going at it with me. And that just pushed me to do better. And in that moment, I realized that we were going to be great.
And man, sometimes so many guys over the years we've talked about that have won or done review videos with, I should say, that's won individual and team state championships. They've kind of all said that, maybe they played football, or maybe, the football players finally got into the room and they're looking around. They're like, whoa, what are we doing here? This is a world beater team. Let's take this team to the Olympics. We could probably do some at the Olympics. Probably beat Uzbekistan or one of these, national teams. But I believe the 23, you guys go to state duels, and the top teams in the state that year was Union County, Paducah Tilghman, and Johnson Central. Those were the three probably best teams in the state that year. And you guys go in, you wrestle Johnson Central in the 3A State Duels Championship. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you guys, of course, win that duel. I don't know this. I don't have it in front of me, but you guys win that duel. You get back to the room. The regional and semi-state and state tournament is just a couple weeks away. Did you guys kind of get like okay, this is really starting to sink in, we can do this?
Yes, sir. So I knew my team was good because we wrestled all over other states and stuff. And once we got to dual team state, I realized that once everyone was winning, we had a full lineup. Like everyone in the lineup was doing great. I knew that we had a lot of potential going into the state series.
Man, and that's what we're getting ready to talk about. So the last year, or the year you were here, was the last year of the semi-state. We had to do that because of COVID precautions, and we had to move it to a high school gym. Not the best scenario, but sometimes you got to just do things to get, what's the old saying, just get the match in the ring in the professional wrestling world. Do what you got to do. But you had to wrestle. Of course, your regional, you won that pretty easy. Your semi-state, let's talk about your semi-state real quick. You had your first round of the semi-state, or the state first round, as it was called. You win a 3-minute and 18-second fall over Odysseus Springer of North Hardin. You get to the quarters. You're wrestling Will Bowen of Louisville Moore. You win that by 7-2 decision. You get to the semis. You wrestle Eli Williams. You win that by fall. From St. Xavier, I should say. You win that by fall. 5-minute and 58 seconds. Then you get to the first place match for the semi-state or first round semi-state there. You're wrestling Bryant Bean from Trinity out of Louisville. And you win that by a 6-2 decision. Now, don't spoil it. That might give it away. But had you wrestled Bean before that?
Yes, sir, I have. I wrestled him the previous year whenever I wrestled for Illinois.
Okay. I got you. And if I said, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but if I said 3A Team State Championship, it should be 2A. That's my bad. I don't know why I said 3A, but it should be 2A. I want to make sure I get that correct. So don't be hating on me, Paducah Tilghman fans. So you win that semi-state. You beat Bean in the championship there. Did you kind of visualize or mentally rehearse or go over, all right, I'm probably going to wrestle him again at some point, whether it's in the semifinals, depends on how the bracket falls, or in the finals? Did you prepare for him? Okay, I know this guy's probably the second best in the state, or how was that week leading up to the state tournament for you?
Honestly, after that match, I got pretty lucky against him. I did pretty good. I didn't think the score would be. It was a good match, and he earned my respect there. And I knew going into the state series, it wouldn't be if I knew I'd see him again, and it wouldn't be an easy match.
Yeah, well, that's putting it lightly. So let's talk about that state tournament. You start off the first round with a fall, 3 minutes and 49 seconds over John Jackson of Boyd County. You get to the quarters, you're wrestling Clayton Shaddix of Great Crossing. You win that by a major decision, 11-3. In the semis, you win a major decision over Chris Begley from Madison Southern, 11-3. Chris goes on to get fourth place. And wouldn't you know who you see in the finals? Bryant Bean from Trinity. Now, we're not going to tell you the score. We have the Parade of Champions, the face-off match, medal ceremony, and the team state championship trophy presentation as well. So you win that semifinals. There's a couple hours in between getting the placement rounds done after the semifinals. What do you do, man? Do you go try to take a nap? Do you go back into the practice room there where the mats were? What do you do in that time between the winning that semifinals and then the face off for the championship?
Honestly, if it wasn't so, whenever I did move to Tillman, a big thing holding me back was my mentality and being confident in my wrestling. And the Tillman coaches there really worked on that with me and helped cool me off. And we figured out what I needed to do before a match to perform my best. And we figured that out is just to have fun. So I went in there and played spike ball for a while.
Yeah, I don't remember you specifically, but I remember going back in there into the room, and there was, wrestlers from all over different teams playing spike ball and, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, if I started pulling my phone out and record it just to have, but I was like, man, these are these kids' special moments. We don't want to be in, all up on them with a phone. Hey guys, look over here. No, that's your all's time. You know what I mean? And no, I'm glad you're able to say that, because something about this series that we know to be true is so many current wrestlers in school, whether it's high school, middle school, elementary, teams, whatever, they'll watch videos and they'll pick up on things. And maybe, there's another Caleb Mays mentality out there that's like, maybe I do need to, just relax and have fun and play spike ball and, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So, youngsters, if that's what can get you ready for a match, have fun with it. Play spike ball. Play, whatever. Because there's no sense in wrestling the match 25,000 times in your head and wearing yourself out before you even step on the mat, already mentally defeated, knowing you could probably win it if it was just a random Tuesday night dual meet match or whatever. But, when the lights are on, man, the eyes of the state are on you. This is what matters. I don't remember what wrestler said it. It was last year after the NCAA semifinals he won. And he done an interview with ESPN or Flow or one of them. He was like, normally this match is like walking on a 2x4 on top of 2 bricks. But when you get to this level, it's like walking on 2x4 between 2 skyscrapers. The board stays the same, but the stakes are raised. And that's exactly what this is like. Now, I'm sure you've probably watched your match video a couple times. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir. I've watched it quite a few times.
I was going to say, because I've got my own, video of it. So, like always, we're gonna pull it up here. And so this is the Parade of Champions. Like I said, we have the Parade of Champions, face off, match, medal ceremony, and team ceremony. Man, let's go. There come the 144 pounders. I believe you're the last one in this line, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm right behind them ladies.
Yep. Okay, you're the second to last one. I'm sorry. Got your backpack on, man. Never know. It's the face-off.
The 2023 KHSAA State Wrestling Championships presented by UK. At this time, let's meet the finalists. The 144-pound weight class. A senior from Paducah Tilghman with a record of 45-5, Kayla May.
So you're coming in 45-5, pretty good record.
A senior from Louisville City with a record of 25-3, Brant B. The 138-pound weight class, sophomore from Oldham County with a record of 46-2.
Here's the match video. You've got Brett Branson as your official and Philip Hayes as your assistant. So two good refs out there. All right, man. So right out of the gate, what's your go-to then? Not necessarily now, but at this level of your wrestling, what was your go-to takedown? What are we looking to do here?
Well, at that point in time, I got pretty good at an outside step, which is kind of like a odd move to do, but out it works pretty good. But I knew he was pretty good at defending my attacks. So, because in semi-state, the times I scored on my feet were from re-attacks. So I knew how to try and take advantage of that again.
Yeah.
But I know he watched film too, so he knew how to take me down and try to figure out what to do from there.
And the couple times you'd wrestled him before, earlier this year and at your previous school, was there something that he done that was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Or
Well, the first time I wrestled him, I took him down in the first period, but then second period started, I chose down. Next thing you know, he's got double boots in on me, breaking my body in half, and I made sure not to let that happen again.
yeah. Now, accidental poke in the face there, hands to the face. Brett didn't call anything. I think it was a good call, incidental. I don't know who this is beside of me yelling hard snaps, but I can't tell if it's because he doesn't really say anybody's name, so he's wanting somebody to do some hard snaps. Now, right there, man, whenever that happened, he tried to hit that throw on you and out of bounds. Did that kind of wake you up, or like, all right, he's for real? You know what I mean?
No, honestly, like throughout that match, I knew he was good, but I saw the positioning. He was moving backwards. He was towards the outside of the circle. So I figured I'd try and blast him out. I didn't get it. We were out of bounds. No harm, no foul. But then he threw me. And I got up smiling. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I got up smiling because I just got thrown in the state finals off the mat. That's pretty fun. But that I knew I had to be more careful because I didn't want to get stuck again.
And like into the first period here, Red, your choice, and instantaneously you take down. Was that something that like your coaches told you to do, or just instinctively, I knew I need to get up, get a point, or?
Well, one thing we really worked on that year was tripod stand-ups. And I was really determined that year because I was tired of being ridden out. I was tired of not being able to escape. I figured out that I just have to get up. So I knew down. I took down in every match. I didn't care who it was. I knew I was getting up.
And that's a good mentality to have. Believe in yourself, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Now Paducah to Lexington or Georgetown or Winchester, I should say, isn't the easiest drive. Of course, you guys, had aspirations of winning the championship as a team. You guys have a lot of family in the stands, or how did it go? I was there, but I just can't remember.
Yeah, no, we had a pretty good fan section in the crowd. They got pretty loud. They brought some big heads of all the people that were wrestling at state, and it was a very fun experience with them.
Yeah.
Right there, I knew he was looking for another throw. I pointed my thumb in his hip so he couldn't engage it. Because he was on the out of bounds line, so I felt it coming again.
Yeah. Put that pressure on him, man. Make the referee make a call.
Yes, sir. Holding center.
Nothing.
This for most of the matches, just a hard hand fight and just grit, trying to stay down, not get taken down, and look for anything you can get.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looks like about 10 seconds left in the second period. And you guys have been, even though it's just a 1-0 match so far, you guys have been grinding on each other.
Yes, sir. Hard hand fight.
In the wrestling way, I should say. You know what I mean? I will make sure I get that correct. So he takes down. Now, in your previous match earlier in the year, did he take down? Did you take top? Did you know what was coming with him?
Pretty much in the previous match, I chose just neutral, and then I chose down. He chose down. He tried to get up, and I tried to put a right on him. But in this match right here, going into this third period, I knew that I had to do something different because in the semifinals match, or semi-state match, I rode legs on him. I threw him boots, and I knew he to defend that this time. So I had to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Back in Illinois, my main ride was a box ride or an anchor, what you guys call it. And I just knew how to resort back to that. So I couldn't get my leg in. I could feel him defending it and looking for a leg out. So I had to change it up and go to a ride I wasn't used to.
Now, right there in the span of about 10 seconds of mat action or actual time ticking off, he got 2 cautions for movement on the bottom. Those that don't know, the third caution, and from there on out, it's a point each time. So, I'm not saying to wrestle dirty, but if you know the rules, that could, in a match like this, getting an extra caution could be, the deciding factor. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Also,
again, another lift, another return.
The semifinals match, you jumped the start a few times as well. Got a few cautions called.
Now you're trying like a cradle right there, but he fights it off. You get a boot in. Did you feel when you throw his boot in? Most of the time, that's like the emergency break. Like, he's about ready to stand up on me. Did you feel like he was about ready to stand up, or did you just throw it in instinctively? Or
honestly, once I moved to Tilghman, it was just natural for me to want to throw him the boot. And coaches there really worked on me riding legs all that year. So in any position with legs, and I felt really comfortable, and I felt good in my ability to wrestle from that position. So when I throw a boot in, I usually feel pretty safe. I knew this was going to be a hard ride out here. It'd be hard to get a turn on, so I really had to use out of bounds smart and use my cautions right, and just try and hold him down for the 2 minutes.
Yeah. So we got about 22 seconds there. Brett calls a stalemate. All right, so you got about 20 seconds left. You know he's going to go 100%. Hard as he can go here. Stalling on top. That's the first stall call of the match. 14 seconds left.
Stand up. Locked eyes, stay there.
He goes to stand. Nothing. You're holding on for dear life. Got that crotch block going on through the crotch. And there it is, man. Final score 1-0. You run over to Seth, get a hug.
Handle. I wouldn't have done it without them. It really changed my abilities in wrestling, my mindset.
Here's the medal ceremony.
State runner-up in the 144 pound.
Got to share a fist bump.
From Trinity, Ryan B. Ladies and gentlemen, your 144-pound state champion from Paducah Tilghman, Caleb.
That's my dad giving me my medal. I grew up with him coaching my whole life, so that was a big moment for us.
Oh, absolutely, man. And here's the team trophy presentation.
Team champion with 185.5 points. The team from Paducah Tilghman High School.
I love this right here. You guys go underneath the little strap there, and it comes up, and he just looks at it and is like, forget it.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go. No big deal. Yeah, we just won.
Yeah.
Then Uriah's got his sign upside down right here. People's yelling at him.
I think everyone in this moment was just really ecstatic and didn't know how to act.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Get the picture.
And there it is, man. You guys claiming that big gold trophy.
Cool.
Big sign there. I love the signs. Those individual state championship and that big team sign, that's such a great little memento. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks great.
Put it in a trophy case or your room, or take it like if you go on a parade or whatever. It's just such a cool little memento that they hand out. Now, like I said earlier, you've watched it who knows how many times, but maybe from that angle, does it play out the way you remember it?
Honestly, the way I remember it is that third period was way longer than what it seemed like in this video.
I believe it. And to that point, you know, part of wrestling is having good flexibility, having good hip movement, having the ability to, change off pretty quick on stuff. But you had some, you kind of become the Terminator there for a while, man. Tell us about some hip surgery that you had.
So at the beginning of the year, it was like somewhat towards the beginning of the year, I started having some pain in my hips while I was wrestling, and I was like, I wasn't used to like being hurting from pain and like not being able to wrestle from it. I was getting a little concerned, so I got them checked out, and the doctor told me that I had a torn labrum on both sides. So I was like, it's my senior year. This is the team that I can do it with, so I didn't want to waste that. So I was like, you know what, go big, go home. I'll finish the season up, get it worked on after. So I got through the season. It was rough for me, but I took a few breaks throughout it. But I felt great at the tournament because I ignored it. I knew what I wanted, and I didn't care how bad my hips hurt. But once I went in there for surgery, they found out that it was more than a torn labrum. I had a torn labrum on both sides, torn tendons on both sides. They had to reshape my ball and socket.
My goodness, man.
My
goodness.
I've been recovering since.
No, I can understand, man. That's what was it? Spencer Lee won the NCAA championship with 2 torn ACLs. You know, and there's some pro athletes that miss 3 weeks with an ingrown toenail. Come on, guys, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? Let's talk about the teammates though that made it to the state tournament on that 23 team. Of course, Javen Williams at 126 second place. Jaden Frazier 138 first. You 144 first. Malachi 150 first place. Amari Williams at 157. DJ Wilson at 165 fifth place. Jack James at 175 third. Uriah 190 first. JT Adams third place. Of course, it should be said JT's on the channel. He's a 2021 state champion at Christian County. And then Jimmy Mooney, heavyweight third place. Just a phenomenal team. And you also continued your wrestling career. Currently, you're at the University of the Cumberlands. 149-pounder, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
And like we said earlier, you got some teammates, some other Kentucky guys on there. Now, your opponent in this match, Bryant Bean, he's currently at the Campbellsville University. Have you guys met up in college after this, or?
Well, last year we would have been the same weight, but I didn't wrestle at all last year. I was out the whole season trying to recover and get back on the mat. And then this year, whenever I did get an opportunity to get on the mat, he dropped down to 141. So we haven't seen each other yet.
I got you. I got you. I was just going to say, man, it's kind of, especially in Kentucky, the sport's growing in Kentucky, but it's still kind of a rare to have 2 Kentucky wrestlers at different colleges wrestle each other. We had that last year in the NWCA National Championship. We had, I believe it was Ryan Moore and Zach Cowan wrestle each other for the national championship there. So that was kind of cool. But still, have 2 Kentucky wrestlers facing off at opposite colleges is still pretty cool. So, Caleb, man, I think we've covered a pretty good amount of ground here. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, add, take away, anything of that nature we may not have covered? Man, the floor is yours.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I really have left to say is that there's something special going on at Tilghman. Those coaching staff and the team there, they really know how to wrestle and like the way to do it. Coach Landels, Livy, Sklapski, Ben, like all of them, they are all so smart and great at wrestling. They're the ones that really push me to be who I am. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have won it, and I wouldn't have been able to experience that about wrestling. So it's just credits.
And you can see it in the Paducah Tilghman youth program, middle school program. This past, like I said, I hate to keep dating ourselves, but as of this filming, the previous Saturday was the state duels there at the Corbin Arena. Paducah Tilghman, again, they met Johnson Central in the semifinals. Great duel. It come down to the last match. I believe the 215 come down to that last match there. And Jack James was able to put it away for you guys. So just a phenomenal, what's going on out there. And the thing about Kentucky, man, the state is so big and so spread out that there's very few times throughout the year do the best teams get to see each other unless it's at the state duels or the state tournament. So you really don't know what other teams have, who's going to go where. So it's kind of a guessing game, you know what I mean? You got, and especially back in the 80s and 90s, like out there your all's way in Paducah and up down my way in Eastern Kentucky, they would never see each other until maybe one time in the state finals and have no idea about the other kid or how they wrestle or whatever. So some of the stories we've got from guys over the years about only seeing one, didn't even know the school existed, let alone they had a wrestling team. So, man, I think we've reached a great ending point. Thank you for doing this. Jaden, man, listen, don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging, man. We got to get it done. We got to get it done. So, Caleb, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I know the Paducah Tilghman faithful is going to enjoy seeing it. Have it forever. Get as many of you guys on the channel as I can. That way, the world can see the blue tornadoes. But I believe that's all that we have. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.